So this is my second time reading the first volume, and I didn't realize just how short the first arc is. So I'd already read the Fall of Shiganshina arc. I think tonight, I have a Patreon live show tonight, but I think after that I might watch the first few episodes of the anime, and then I will definitely be better with the pronunciations. But I didn't realize it would only be 2 chapters of the first arc, which honestly, I've never read an arc as small before, so it's kind of a little bit harder to sort of rate and review. I will say though that I still think I would give it like a really solid rate, and I think it has such a fantastic start. It is so exciting. So I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Ratings might change as the video goes on, depending on how I rank the arcs by the end of it. Things might change by the end, so stick around for that. But honestly, I feel like all this story really needed is a really solid foundation and the excitement and the tension and the fear that I think you do feel even from just those first 2 chapters. And it didn't really need to have a whole lot of chapters in order to sort of tell the initial story. It does feel a little bit direct. Like, there isn't really a whole lot of nuance around a lot of, like, I guess, character themes, which I will get into, and I will talk about, you know, all spoilers so you know what I mean. But just like initially, I just feel like a lot of it is a little bit, I wouldn't say corny, but a lot of the themes aren't really subtle. I think a lot of it is spelled out to you either through character dialogue or like really obvious action. But again, I'll explain myself in a second. I guess I just want to get like a little bit of the criticisms out of the way initially, because I do absolutely freaking love the story. I am now on volume 4. I've read the first 2 arcs, and I am loving the story so much. So I really just want to get like some of the negativity out of the way first. I'm not really a big fan of the art style. The art style sometimes can be a little bit ugly. I'm not really a big fan of some of the faces. I think it really works with a lot of the Titans, for instance. I think the Titans look absolutely terrifying, and how grotesque the art style can be can really add to that. But I think sometimes the art just doesn't really translate that well. Like, say for instance with the Colossal Titan, when you see it from behind, like, it's got a flat arse. But even not just that, I think sometimes, like, I guess, you know, the angle of a body or the way that it looks from a different angle than what you initially get from, like, say, like a face-on shot or anything like that, it just doesn't look like 100% right, you know? And sometimes I think that can really add to the uncanniness of the human faces as well as the Titan faces. So there's just always a sort of feeling of being unsettled. So hopefully that is an intentional art choice. And not every single manga has to look like Berserk, for instance. So all of that out the way, I freaking loved this first volume. Like, it won that 30 manga in 30 days challenge for a reason. Just literally straight away from the very first page, you have the Colossal Titan towering over the wall, looking over. Like, I'm telling you, the fear, the shot of fear that just tingles through my body. It goes down my spine. I can feel it in every single atom of my body. I get terrified by seeing that Colossal Titan looking over the wall. I don't think this will ever get old. There's just something so unnatural about seeing someone massive like this, and I have a little bit of a fear of things being too tall, like say elongated limbs and massive beings that just like tower over you. I have the biggest fear of, so this is really playing into that fear, and it's one of the reasons why I absolutely think this is, like, it's not really supposed to be a horror or anything. I think this is more action and dystopian, a little bit fantasy, but like, I get horror from this, I really do. And the Titans are a little bit zombie-like. And also I want to correct myself before, I think I mentioned in the intro that the Titans were all skinless, but that isn't the case. I've actually met more Titans now, and you do get a little bit of a variety. You get some that do have skin, you get some that don't, you have different sizes, and it's really incredible to see like the variety of them. But yeah, they do seem a little bit zombie-like. Like, how I say zombie-like, they do eat people, they are incredibly strong. A lot of them don't seem to have a lot of intelligence, apart from the Colossal Titan, the only one that seems to be able to penetrate the wall to allow other Titans in. So to have the story start off this way was just absolutely phenomenal. You get only like pages of peace, pages of, you know, a little bit of world building, how it's been 100 years of the Titans ruling outside, and that humans have managed to make this, like, these walls, and we have Wall Maria that is protecting all of the inner walls and like the inner civilization, and they've lived in peace for a long time. They have this kind of society inside that, as the arcs go on, at least I've read the first 2 arcs, it deteriorates a little bit. You get to see like how much humans don't really do very well with being caged in, and like the theme of freedom really comes through very well too. And even in the first arc, you get to feel that through the main characters. So we have like 3 main characters. We have Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. Might have pronounced their names a little bit wrong, I apologize. But they're 3 characters who I mean, I really like Mikasa. I think she's pretty awesome. With the three main characters, you do get a little taste of their personalities. You get to see like Armin, he's kind of a scaredy cat, or at least he's kind of like the weaker of the three. And then you get like Eren, he's almost like I guess the leader in a way. Him and Mikasa have like kind of grown up together. You do get to find out a little bit more about Mikasa and like their relationship in the next arc. But you get to see like how protective they are of like the three of them. Like all three of them are great. Mikasa is someone who strikes fear into bullies' hearts. So like she is very strong and formidable. So as a trio, I kind of like them. I mean, I don't love them just yet. I want to give it a little bit more time to marinate my feelings on the main characters. But I do think they have potential to be like really great. And just from this first arc alone, there are so many seeds planted in their journeys and their arcs. So like, for instance, poor Eren having to see his mother getting killed, like that was so gruesome and awful. Like, did we have to see her legs snapping out of that Titan's mouth? Ugh, like it's absolutely disgusting. And I also have a fear of like cannibals. And with the Titans looking like humans, just like massive, it just adds to that fear, you know? And again, like with the zombie thing as well, zombies eating humans, Titans eating humans. Like, I'm so intrigued. We know next to nothing about these Titans. We know nothing about where they came from, why they're here, why they're eating humans. Like, why does this colossal Titan just appear out of nowhere just to like let these other Titans in to cause chaos and further repressing the last of mankind? It's just so terrifying, and I love the mystery of it. I do. I love the fact that we don't know a whole lot just yet. I'm a little bit worried and concerned that when we do get more answers to certain things later on, I'll not be as impressed by it, because sometimes when we learn a little bit too much about something, the fear of it kind of goes away. So I kind of want to keep the Titans as mysterious as possible, but at the same time, I'm just too intrigued. Like, I'm a nosy little bitch. I want to know. Just like I really want to know about this basement that Eren's dad was telling him about. And sometimes characters would act a little bit weird, like especially like Eren's dad. So I'm hoping we learn more about that later on. But like, for instance, when Eren says that he wants to join the Survey Corps and wants to like go out and see, you know, the Titans on the outside and the outside world and stuff. And his mum's like, no, you definitely cannot do that. Absolutely not. I will not allow it. And then Eren's dad is like, okay, I'm off to work. Sometimes like characters just acted in a way that I was just like, oh, okay. I loved learning about the factions. So we do have the Garrison, the Survey Corps, and the Military Police Brigade. I kind of am intrigued by how society works and how they've managed to protect themselves for so long, the sacrifices that they've had to make for so long, what each person's place in this world is. Is there any hope at all? Because, you know, as soon as that wall is breached, Wall Maria is breached, the whole system kind of falls apart because they can't really defend themselves that well against the Titans, really. Like, they can't really fight that well against them. It's very hard to take them down, and you do get a lot of like the soldiers, even themselves, like running away in fear. What hope do they have? How stable is this society? How stable is this like new government within this society that's protecting everyone? It just seems like a house of cards. It just seems like it's gonna just crumble at any moment. And even at the beginning of the chapter, before like chaos really ensues, when some of the Survey Corps come back and there is this like poor mother, she's like, where's my son? And then the main guy there, I can't remember a lot of character names, I will get there, he gives her like his arm or something. It's just like, that's all that's left of your son, sorry. And she's like, well, was his death in vain? And yeah, his death kind of was, you know what? It's like, what purpose do these people have? What can they do to ensure their own survival? Or is everything just gone to shit and there's nothing you can do about it? Like, that feeling of hopelessness is one of the things I loved about this 2-chapter arc. And to juxtapose that with our three main characters wanting so desperately to make a change in this world, especially Eren, especially Mikasa. And you know what, even with Armin, his is a little bit like less obvious, I guess, than the other two. He does seem a lot more scared than them, and I just feel like potentially he has the biggest opportunity for the biggest character arc in the future. Like, it's something that I'm really invested in seeing. I really want him to grow and be better. But I do love the fact that our three main characters really do want to make a difference. They really do want to protect everyone. They want to save everyone. They want to get revenge on the Titans, and they want, you know, to explore. Well, I guess more Armin and Eren. They were talking about exploring the outside world and getting answers to the biggest mysteries of life. It is such a nice juxtaposition between the hopelessness of the Titans just barging in and killing a lot of people versus the hope that the main characters embody. So I don't know if I made a whole lot of sense reviewing this first little arc, because yeah, 2 chapters, man. I think we're off to like a really great start. But just one last thing, this bitch, oh, she's gonna be haunting my dreams. Ugh, like, was this necessary to say? Like, really? Ugh. I feel like the mangaka just like pushed me right off the deep end.